Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the GOAT Picks, and I give you the best picks and the best predictions. We are going to go over the UFC 330, Garry versus Islam Makhachev, August 15th, 2026 at the Xfinity Mobile Arena at Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Guys, like and subscribe on YouTube and on Instagram. Give us a follow. And if you disagree with my picks, tell me why. I would love to understand where you guys are coming from with your predictions. We're going to go over the main card, starting with Edson Barboza versus Esteban Ribovics. Edson Barboza, he's a legend in the game, to me, with the lightweight division. He's been in the UFC for 15 years with a Muay Thai kicking background. He's fought pretty much every elite person in the last decade. But again, he's 40 years old, so time's ticking with him, and I think his tank's going to be running low. He's fighting Esteban Ribovics, who's 30 years old, and I just think he's part of the next wave. He fights with a high-volume striking style, and, his last fight, he fought Matthias Gamrot and lost to a submission, but again, Matthias Gamrot is elite with the wrestling, and I just don't see Edson Barboza using any wrestling in this fight. I think it's just going to be two strikers where one's in his prime and the other one is fighting the clock. So I got to go with Esteban Ribovics for this one. Next fight, I got Mansur Abdul Malik versus Dustin Stoltzfus. Abdul Malik, he's been surging through the middleweight division. He's 6'2" with the 80-inch reach, and he can control the range early. And if he could find the chin, he does end the fight early as well. His only loss came from a third-round TKO by Yusuf Belgari, which in my head, he looked pretty good. I mean, he did lose, but it definitely, he went back to the drawing board, and I think he's going to turn that around, his loss, and, find his weaknesses. He did have a good cardio tank in there. He just got outstruck. And to his credit, Yusuf Belgari, he's been training with Alex Pereira. Yusuf is also a kickboxer. So I think if Mansour, practice more with the going straight for the wrestling rather than having always strike, because again, on the striking, standing up, he was getting pieced apart. I think if he would have wrestled and took him down to the ground more, he could have looked a lot better. But again, I just think against Dustin, who's a veteran, and this one, he brings a well-rounded skill set with a live submission attempt. But, he's kind of the grinder who can, capitalize on any mistake and turn the fight around, to the mat. But again, I think Dustin has the experience, but Abdul has the power, and I just think from that loss he took, he's going to be coming back a way better fighter, and even Vegas thinks he's a heavy favorite. So I'm going to go with Mansur Abdul Malik.
Big knee, quick 1-2, and Mansur Abdul Malik.
Charles Johnson versus Jose Ochoa. Johnson, he's one of the busiest fighters on the roster. He's already has fought 3 times already in 2026, and he's got real finishing ability. He's got stoppages over Loner Kavanaugh and Joshua Van, which is amazing. I mean, those are almost top 5, the best in his division. But he's also lost to Asu Alimavayev and Alex Perez and Ramazan Temirov, which, with the Loner Kavanaugh, he caught him with a lucky punch. Same with Joshua Van. I don't think he could do that again to Joshua Van. So don't get me wrong, he's a great striker. He's great at countering. But Ochoa, 9-2. He's 25 years old. He's a Peruvian prospect. He's still building in the UFC. He's sitting at 2-2 inside the octagon. His most recent win was a clean unanimous decision over Clayton Carpenter. And he was just showing in that fight that he can ground out a win. His style fighting is, he's really good at striking and boxing. He just puts that pressure on you relentlessly, hits you low, and then he can hit you high. And for that reason, I just think he's going to catch Charles Johnson. So I got to go with Jose Ochoa as my official pick. Next fight, we got Mackenzie Dern versus Jillian Robertson. Dern, 16-5. She's defending her strawweight title for the first time, and she's not just a jiu-jitsu fighter. She's an ADCC world champion, third pedigree black belt, well, third degree black belt, which puts her ground game on a different tier. You know, she's fighting a 3-fight win streak, and most recently, you know, pointing wins against Vina Janarova over 5 rounds, which I thought, you know, she was going to have a tough time in that fight, but she showed me that she looked good. She's fighting Robertson, who isn't a soft touch either. She holds the UFC's all-time record for women's submission wins at 7 and has strung together 5 straight victories in a row, including wins over Amanda Lemos, Marina Rodriguez, and Luina Pinheiro. This is her first UFC title shot, which you could tell from her last fights, you know, she's earned it. But again, I just think, you know, Mackenzie Dern is special. And I think, again, when it comes to the ground, she's going to show there's different levels to this. And when it comes to striking, I do think Jillian Roberts is going to have a lot of pressure and keep at her. But again, I got to go with Mackenzie Dern. So Mackenzie Dern's going to be my official pick.
Oh, big right for Dern. Cooper forced to give up the back after being mounted by Dern, and now under the chin. There's the tap.
And the final fight of the main card, the one I've been waiting for forever, Conor McGregor versus Khabib Nurmagomedov. Just kidding. It is deja vu, though. You know, I feel like this was meant to be. This is Islam Makhachev versus Ian Garry. Makhachev, you know, he is pound for pound the king of the sport. He's trained by Khabib Nurmagomedov. His wrestling and grappling is just out of this world. He's elite across Sambo, Judo, Greco, Roman, and freestyle. He doesn't just take you down, he smothers you. And guys, you've seen what he's done to pretty much every fighter he's faced. He's just destroyed. I mean, he comes from like another planet. I mean, these guys in Dagestan, Russia, especially Khabib and Islam, I just don't see anyone beating them. So you guys already know where I'm going with that. But he is fighting Ian Garry, who's also the real deal too. He's 6'3". He's an Irish standout with a 74-inch reach. He's got elite kickboxing, a sharp jab. He's a judo black belt, and he uses, you know, that to avoid getting dragged into deep grappling exchanges. He's beaten names like Carlos Prates, Bilal Muhammad, and he's got the tools to, you know, make this genuinely a great 5-round fight. But again, we all know the jokes about Ian, and I just don't think he's a beast like Islam, you know. So I got to go with Islam Makhachev to defend his belt again and become the pound for pound best fighter, better than John Jones. So give me Islam Makhachev to get the job done. Thank you, guys.
Position.